Yeah, but that's the end of it. You see, just immediately remove it and put it there, and you are satisfied. What you are asked to do, you have done. But before you see do anything, you must look at this. What is it that he wants me to move it from here to over there? And why should it be there and not here? You see, if you accept his experiences, the know-how about the interior decoration, that's the end of it. You see. So before I do anything, it is essential for me to look at this. You see, there is a chair here. So how do I go about it? You see, is it possible for me to look at this chair, huh, to know anything about this chair, and to experience this chair? This is a red bag today.
That's good.
Without the knowledge that I have about this, you see. So you are not looking at this, you are only projecting the knowledge you have about this chair. And so it is that has created the human way. So it is, otherwise you have no way of knowing anything about this. So it is the knowledge you have of that has created this thing called the chair. I don't know if that makes any sense. So you cannot look at this even without the knowledge you have of this chair. That's all that I want.
No cognizance even.
No
Like
cognizance
about it.
The physical eyes may be focused on this. The sensory perception you have of this does not tell you anything about this object except that it casts the image on the retina. That's all. Huh? So in this process, this the activity of the optical nerves there is also activating the memory cells, and the knowledge you have about this chair is coming into operation. So we forget about the chair and then you see, go inward and find out that thing called self. Hmm? So can you first of all separate yourself from the knowledge you have of the self and look at the self? That's the question I am asking. Is it possible for you? If you say impossible, that's the end of our dialogue. You take the car and go home. So if you say it is possible, tell me how you can separate yourself and look at what you call self. You have to tell me. So I cannot even separate myself from the knowledge I have of this self, let alone this self. So it is the knowledge that creates this self for me. Maybe they all fooled themselves, hidden themselves, and passed on this petty little experience of theirs to us, and made us all accept that as the goal, the be all and end all of the existence of man there. So if I want to know anything about this, I must be completely and totally free from all that I know about it. So my saying that I must be free completely and totally of the knowledge that I have has no meaning, because you have no way of freeing yourself from that. You are not separate from that knowledge. You cannot separate yourself from the knowledge you have of that. You can't even look at that. You see, it is not possible for you to look at anything, either the self in there or the objects out there, without the knowledge. So it is the same knowledge that tells you about the self that creates the object called the self-realization and puts it there. That is something which you have realized, and it tells you that this is the way that you can realize the self-realization. So the way also is part of the knowledge. So you have the how you can realize, the methods, the techniques, they are also part of this knowledge. So either you are not satisfied what is given to you as the how to realize yourself, for whatever reason you want to realize yourself, or for some other reason you want to be confirmed by somebody else who you think is a self-realizing man. First of all, you have no knowledge of your own, and you have no knowledge for sure that this man who is talking about the self-realization is a man who has realized himself. So both of you are in a very awkward situation. So you must find out, you see, now at this moment, if there is a self there, if the self cannot be realized now, it is not going to be possible to realize it tomorrow. Tomorrow is already here, it's not there. So what is here for me is only the knowledge I have of the self. First of all, you cannot separate yourself and say that knowledge is separate from you. You can't separate yourself from the knowledge. The self is this, self is that, self is not this, it is not that, and so on and so forth. So since I cannot do it now, there is no way of doing it tomorrow. You are asking me how. So that means you want to know more and more and more and more about the self, that's all. More and more and more. That is why you are asking the question. So to be able to realize that self at this moment, you must be free from the knowledge. All the knowledge that you have. So if you are asking me a question, please when Golden comes back. Good. Have a nice walk.
Why? One for what?
Two. By asking this question, the question is for the purposes of knowing more and more and more than what you know of the self, will help you to bring all that you know about that self to comprehend. So all questions must come to an end. The demand to know more and more and more about the self you want to realize, that has to first to be stopped. This is the crux of the problem. See, by demanding to know more and more about a thing, what you already know cannot comprehend. The trick of that movement of knowledge is to ask this question so that it can know more and more and more. I don't know. So you are adding more and more to it, and you have no way of realizing that self except through this freeing yourself from the knowledge you already had. That is all that is there. You see. The self is the knowledge you have of the self. And it is asking this question, how can I know that self, is only adding more and more and more. You see, that applies to all the other questions. You see, this question is dead. By you don't have to ask any other questions. All the other questions, whether it's God, truth, reality, any question you may have about anything, except the basic questions I have to ask for a breakdown, you see, or a flat tire, if I don't know, I need the help. There you have to ask those questions. But here, you have no way of finding out an answer for yourself. So, as long as you depend upon some outside agency, so long you will become a dependent on the outside knowledge. You are hooked forever. So the outside agency has got to come to an end first. So I really do not know, and I don't have any way of finding out anything about the self which I have taken for granted. No way. So if I go to somebody, he will say this is the way. So it is only adding more and more and more. More knowledge. So the how has to come to an end. That's the trickiest part. That is why it throws up the question how all the time. So the how is the problem, not the self, not the knowledge you have of the self. How can I know the self? So that
How can this how come to an end?
you want,
That is our question, sir.
why you are asking the question? You want to know? It's a because you see, your Vedanta is the dog chasing its own tail, or you are wanting to overtake the shadow. It's not going to be possible to overtake your own shadow. It's not possible. See, you can run and run and run and run, try everything possible. You cannot overtake your own shadow. So what is there is only the shadow caused by the knowledge. So what is it that casts the shadow is the knowledge, the sun or whatever you want to call it. Without the sun there is no shadow. Or without this light it doesn't have to be the sun. So it is the knowledge that has created the self. It's just a shadow, it doesn't exist at all. So there is no question of realizing that self which is created by this knowledge.
By knowledge.
By knowledge, which is not yours, first of all. Whether it is yours or mine or somebody else's, that is not the problem, it is there. So you are asking this question, how can I be? Do you want to be free from the knowledge? No, not at all. You only want more and more knowledge.
To confirm that.
Not confirm, so that it can maintain its continuity. That is all that is there. If that comes to an end, you as you know yourself, you as you experience yourself, that you has to come to an end. As long as you know, where is that you? The question which you are asking is a very dangerous question. This is all that I am pointing out. With the question how has come out of the knowledge. You cannot separate yourself from knowledge and say that this is the knowledge and I am separate from the knowledge. You understand? So the whole of your being, first of all, is created by that. The knowledge that you have a human body is created by the thought. And the thought is not there, the body is not there. It is not that funny little experience of the absence of body consciousness that these people are talking about. So it is that knowledge that has first created you. So the answer to the question you are asking, how, is a very dangerous question. You are really not interested in that question. You are asking the questions for which you already have answers. So this discussion becomes, you see, a funny ritual, whether you do it here or go anywhere and carry on this. So you see, if the only answer to that question is the end of the answer you already have. All the knowledge you have about this self must end there. How can that come to an end? By asking another question, how? How? So its interest is survival. That's the reason why it always throws up this question. So since the knowledge you have that cannot be separated from your body, that knowledge can go only when, you see, the physical body dies. You understand? The knowledge you have of yourself, the knowledge you have of the world comes to an end first, and then the clinical death takes place. You understand? So that question which you are asking is a very dangerous question. The answer to that question is your physical death and not the realization of self. You understand? So it's a very, very dangerous question you are asking. You are playing with, you see, this live wire, which is live, you see, with gloves on. You want to change these gloves. fireproof, electric proof, radium proof, all kinds of proof. Gloves you are playing with, but you see the answer to that question is your physical death. Hmm? So that is the reason why you don't really want the answer to the question. You come here, you go there, you go somewhere else. So it is not in the, that knows very well the end of that. This is the end of the body. When the body ends, that also ends. Since its interest is continuity, it is not interested in getting any answer for that. So how, how goes on. Any trick anybody suggests, you see, gives life to it. So that is why it cannot conceive of the possibility of understanding this situation at all. See, so that is why it has invented the time. Next moment, you see, you are going to understand. So how implies waiting for an answer either from me or from within. The answer is the end of that how. The how has come out of the knowledge you already have. I don't know. If I make myself clear, that's a manner of speaking. This question is the statement. If I don't know if I make myself clear, has no place there at all. But it's a part of the language. Sorry. So you are not interested in the answer at all.
Let us put it this way, sir. The thing is, the motivation. If there is no motivation, there is no life. That is how each person sets his own goal, whether it is materialistic or spiritualistic or whatever it is. And he believes that something is possible and we can do it.
About that you are talking.
No, I am not talking about anything spiritual.
No, there is no distinction.
Happiness.
No, you are asking for material things. You for of course, you see the thought, the thinking mechanism which you are using. What are you doing? You are not doing anything except thinking about it. That's all that you are doing. So the instrument which you are using to achieve either material goals or spiritual goals is the same instrument.
Yeah.
So it can only produce material results. So what you are really interested in is the ultimate pleasure.
Yeah.
God is the ultimate pleasure.
Yeah.
See, so how can you say that you are interested in anything other than pleasure? So you are interested in having one without the other. So pleasure without any pain. That's what everybody on this planet is interested in. Pain must go and I must have pleasure only without pain. Or happiness without any moments of unhappiness. That's the quest of everybody, that is the search of everybody, whether he is a spiritual man or a materialist. You see, the only thing that is wrong about this is claimants that they are spiritual people is that they say this is spiritual and that is material. There is absolutely no difference. Both are using the same instrument, which is matter. Thinking is matter, see, to achieve the goals. So your spiritual goal also is a material goal. Since you are incapable of competing in this world for after material goods, you have accepted the invention of the spiritual goal as, you see, the most desirable thing. That's all you are doing. So both of you, I'm not referring to you, those who are pursuing the spiritual goodies or material goodies are after exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. So why it is not possible for you to achieve this goal of only pleasure without pain is because something else other than this thinking mechanism which both of them are using is involved, and that is the body. You see, the body is involved in your demand for permanent pleasure. So I'm not saying anything wrong with the pleasure. See, so the pleasure is not something abstract. So the whole nervous system is involved. So your quest for spirituality is totally unrelated to the well-being of the body. You understand? Well-being of the body is the sensitivity of the nervous system, sensitivity of the sensory perceptions. See, that is the only way it can survive and function sanely, no other way. So what you are trying to do is to achieve something which the body is not interested in. The body doesn't say whether a particular sensation is a pleasurable sensation or a painful sensation. So the moment you say that this is a pleasurable sensation, what is there is the pain. So any demand for permanence of any kind is a pain for the body. It's a pain for the body because if any sensation which has a limited life, longevity, is through the means of your thinking made to last longer than its inbuilt longevity, it is causing pain for the body. So the demand for pleasure is pain. So you are not going to perform this miracle of having only pleasure without pain. That is why you are always in endless sorrow. Never will you succeed because this has a greater interest in its own survival and sensitivity than what you have been taught by your culture. That you are not going to, you don't have to take my word, but you will be lost forever in such of something that you can never have. So you can use every technique, every gimmick that you see the ugly saints we have in the marketplace are dishing out, but that will cause you more and more pain. So any experience you experience, however blissful it may be, however ecstatic it may be, the body is not interested in that at all. See, you know. So I was telling the other day, see, the health food freaks you have in America. Health food is good for the mind and bad for the body. And the spiritual food is bad both for the mind and for the body. So it only keeps the mind going and thereby causing pain to the body. You know. So the spiritual quest is one of the most abominable things that man has invented to perpetuate himself on a level which is totally unrelated to the functioning of this living organism, which is a very peaceful thing, extraordinarily peaceful thing, a harmonious thing. You have created disharmony, you have created misery, you have created disturbance. There, instead of letting it, you seem to live its own life. The moment you are concerned with the meaning of life, it becomes a burden for this body. It is not interested, it is living whatever meaning it has its own meaning, you don't have to do a thing about it. So your concern for finding out the meaning of the body is destroying everything that is there harmoniously functioning in an organized way. You are disturbing the very chemistry of this body. It is not interested in any of your experiences, pleasurable or painful. Painful things it can deal in its own way. If it cannot, you can go to a doctor and doctor will help. There is no special charm in enduring the pain for spiritual reasons. Yeah, I'm talking.
Does it mean that one should not try to condition one's code of conduct way of life? Let it go.
What's the difference whether you are conditioned this way or that way? You are conditioned to believe in God here. You are conditioned not to believe in God, you see, in communist countries. What's the difference between the two?
See, that's let me clarify my question.
Yes.
See, now everybody leads his own life. So let's take two extreme cases. There are the two cases which are wide apart. One of a person who is a menace to the society.
Who is menace? There is nobody. Nobody can be a menace to the society.
As I understand that in clarify.
Why?
Only the fellow who is harassing the people, who is
Why not?
committing thefts, or who is
Why not?
committing-
It's not a religious problem, it's an economic problem. We are responsible. Nature has not created this problem. We have created this problem.
But at least he is getting a nuisance.
Why?
To people. By he is creating misery to others.
Why you have created misery for him, he's starving. You are responsible for his starvation, you are responsible for his misery, you are responsible for his degradation, you are individually responsible. Because you are, you see, supporting a system that is responsible for it. And you call that, and you have the police behind you, you have the paramilitary forces behind you, you have the whole governmental machinery behind you to perpetuate the misery which we have created there. And you say he is harassing you? How can you say that he is harassing you? You want to maintain the status quo. And you call him a terrorist, you call him a menace to the society, and this is the man who has cornered every resource that is there on this planet and put him in that position. Simply because you have the support of millions and millions of people, that this become a virtuous thing, a right thing to do. So he has no means, you see, of having a share, an equal share, which nature has provided for everybody. And you say he is harassing you, he is stealing the things, you have stolen things. I'm not blaming you, we have stolen the things away from them. And you want to maintain this with the help of the police. If the police fails, you have, you see, the paramilitary. If that fails, you have the army. If that fails, you see, you have the atom bomb. Just to protect your way of life and your way of thinking. That's all that you are interested. Why call him, you see, a menace to the society? Don't you think he has a right in the nature?
So what's the solution?
Solution. You are the one that is calling him. I am not offering any solution. There is no solution here. This cannot be brought about except through violence. It cannot be brought about except through violence. So you preach non-violence as a goal. You see? And that is humble. You see? The only way he can have his rightful share in this is to menace you. And the only way you can keep him where he is, through the help of everybody that is interested in having your way of life, in maintaining your status. That is why all this religious thinking of man has not only failed, it has failed because it is this that has created. Long before the political systems and economic systems are responsible for it.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong, you protect yourself. One day is going to blow up the whole thing, see? That may not happen tomorrow or the day after. When the terrorist has a nuclear grenade, you see, the one thing that will bring us to senses is what happened there in Bhopal. Certainly, you see, that kind of a thing will open your eyes to the reality of the situation. Not these parliamentary debates. They are not going to change anything.
Just the news has come that chairman of American company is arrested.
This arresting is a farce, you see, to placate some elements in this country or that country. So it is the there isn't going to be any peace in this world. How can there be any peace?
There is no way to have peace.
Huh? Do you really want? No, certainly not. Certainly not. Not through self-realization.
No, whatever. Okay.
What? What do you want? You want equal distribution of wealth?
Everybody looks for peace of mind, right?
Huh?
Peace of mind, peaceful.
Yeah, how can there be peace? What will give you peace of mind?
That's the best.
Meditation destroys the peace of mind that is already there, because meditation is the destructive factor. It disturbs the peace that is already there. The whole search for self and the self-realization is the one that is disturbing the chemistry of the body there and giving you all kinds of very spiritual experiences, blissful things you call it. What will give you peace of mind?
That's the question. That was
Nothing will give you peace of mind.
So we accept as it is.
No, the quest for the peace of mind, as long as it is there, it is that is disturbing the peace of mind. The quest for peace is the one that is disturbing. Not how to get the peace of mind, how to be at peace with yourself. You don't want to lose what you have. That is understandable. I am not asking you to join the Communist Party or blow up the whole thing. It's going to be blown up anyway. It may not happen today or tomorrow. So after me the deluge, you see. That's coming closer and closer to us. Those days are gone. The brotherhood, the peace, love, compassion, they're all gone, you see.
Shall we then say the life as it was during the so-called Stone Age was the one when there was peace?
No.
And it is again Reformation that brought peace.
No, it has always been the same. We are getting hold of more and more destructive weapons. It is progressively moving in the direction, you see. It started first with the jawbone weapons the caveman used to destroy his so-called enemies, to cause him menace. Slowly, you see, bow and arrow, and then the gun, and then the bomb, the nuclear bomb, hydrogen bomb, and then we'll very soon have cobalt bomb. God knows what is there on the drawing boards.
Laser beams.
Laser beams, Star Wars. It's all there, you see. I'm not a pessimist or a cynical man that is such. This is, if anybody wants to look at it, anything that you are doing, everything that you are doing, is moving us progressively in the directions. I'm not saying anything against that, as long as you have a policeman here to protect yourself from the menace of that fellow who is threatening to take away your milk bottle from there because he is hungry. The atom bomb, hydrogen bomb, every bomb is necessary. So don't talk against the nuclear proliferation, don't talk against bombs. Don't talk of peace. A hungry world is not going to be peaceful, period.
That means there should not be hungry. That only peace can
Huh?
If the hungry
The
world,
most menacing section of the people are hungry for spiritual goodies. They are the ones
okay, let's not talk of people who are hungry for spiritual. Let's talk of people
Then only is
who are
it will
hungry
be possible.
for bread.
Then it will be possible. There is enough here, sir. You see, there is enough food here. They say that the resources we have today, without the help of any technology, can feed the 3 times the population we have on this planet. And why is there this starvation? I have no solutions. Please don't, you see. If I find that there is a way, I'll be there. If I'm really concerned, you see, about that, I can sit and cry with them because there is no way out. The way out is through violence. All right, I am ready to use violence. Blow up everything there. To get there, you see, I have to use the same methods that the man who is there in the seat of power is using. See, when once I am there, See, I'm going to be exactly the same. That is what has happened, it's still happening everywhere. So am I really interested in his welfare or interested in holding the office? The head of the state is ready to blow up everything just to be able to stay in the seat of power for another 4 years there in the White House, another 5 years there in England, another 5 years here, you see, in this country. They would do anything, justify their actions in the name of law and order. So there are no solutions for that, no easy solutions. So to talk of bringing about, first of all, we are not interested, you see, in bringing about, you see, changes. Number one. Number two, there is no way of changing anything except through violence. They have greater and greater means now. Every time I look at that, you see, the joke that is going on there, the RSS, one machine gun will wipe them all out. What are you talking? What is naughty? What are you saying? In the name of law and order, they will wipe them out. Hundreds of them will be wiped out. Karate, why do you want to introduce them? What is a joke? Those things that they used millions of years ago, you want to use them? Ruthlessly, the man in power is going to use them. If I were there, to be the Prime Minister of India, I would wipe them out. One machine gun enough. It's a joke. Are they ready for a civil war? If you want to wage a civil war, you have to depend upon China, upon Russia to get those weapons. And the small people against, you see, the military you have maintained with your taxes, 60% of the national income is spent on the defense against whom? If China decides to walk into, they are not that foolish to walk into this country anyway. The foolish nation like Pakistan or probably Bangladesh or Ceylon will, not they. And you have no defense against them. You know, it's a defense against you and me. That's all.